Welcome to Southwest Desert, where adventure meets the arid beauty of the American Southwest. Join us as we explore the rugged landscapes, uncover hidden historical gems, and dive deep into the rich legends and culture of this iconic region. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on our latest desert adventures. Please leave a like or comment. This is very helpful. Let's journey together into the heart of the Southwest Desert. Picture this. Somewhere in the vast Mojave Desert lies a small rocky mound worth over $15 million in today's money. For more than 140 years, treasure hunters, geologists, and desert rats have scoured the landscape searching for this elusive prize. They've had detailed descriptions, precise landmarks, and testimony from multiple credible witnesses. Yet the lost Wilson mine remains exactly that, lost. This isn't folklore or buried pirate treasure. This is the story of a real discovery, witnessed by real people, documented by newspapers, and validated by professional assayers. It's a mystery that begins with one man's desperate night in the desert and continues to frustrate searchers today. Welcome to the Mojave Desert of 1880, during the era of great silver strikes. The Potosi mines had proven the desert's potential, and discoveries at Clark Mountain, Ivanpah, and the legendary Bonanza King had set prospectors' hearts racing with silver fever. Into this world of scorching heat, scarce water, and infinite possibility rode Jonathan W. Wilson, known throughout the region as Quartz Wilson. He was one of the first citizens of 29 Palms, a skilled prospector who had discovered the Virginia Dale Mine and the El Dorado Mine. But Wilson had one fatal flaw. He couldn't relocate the richest discovery of his career. Colonel T.W. Brooks, who encountered Wilson in 1885, described him as a tortured man, brains and bones nearly baked by relentless desert heat. Wilson's skin was peeling from his face due to prolonged exposure to temperatures exceeding 130 degrees. He lived in a dugout at the Palm Oasis, keeping only a rooster for timekeeping and a cat for company. Wilson understood the desert like few men could. He knew every water source, every Indian trail, every geological formation that might hide precious metals. His nickname, Quartz Wilson, came from his enthusiastic claims about finding buggy gold quartz, though fellow prospectors sometimes questioned his tendency to oversell prospects to investors. In fall 1880, Wilson embarked on an extended prospecting tour from a small spring in the Providence Mountains to the Old Woman Mountains. He carried only 2 quarts of water, no fodder for his horse, and no blankets, expecting to complete the journey in a single day. As the sun climbed higher, conditions became brutal. The sand was deep and soft, making every step an ordeal. Wilson realized with growing dread that he wouldn't reach the Old Woman Mountains before nightfall. In the vast Mojave Desert, being caught without water after dark could mean death. As darkness approached, Wilson spotted a small rocky mound rising from the desert floor. He tied his exhausted horse to a large stone protruding from the mound and built a crude half-moon windbreak opening eastward for protection from the bitter night air. When morning came and the sun rose behind distant pine-covered mountains, Wilson did what every experienced prospector does. He examined the rocks around his campsite. What he found changed everything. The rocks forming his windbreak, the stones he had stacked for protection, the very mound where he'd sought shelter, they were composed of horn silver. Not just any horn silver, but ore so rich it defied belief. Horn silver, or cerargyrite, is one of the most valuable ores a prospector can find. It cuts like horn and melts in a candle flame. But Wilson's discovery was extraordinary, immensely rich horn silver that could make a man wealthy beyond imagination. Wilson carefully documented everything. He built a claim monument, gathered samples, and memorized every landmark. The mountain to the east with its horizontal red band and white spot above it, the pinyon pine timber crowning its summit, the exact positioning of his rocky mound. All he had to do was return to civilization, have the ore assayed, and come back with proper equipment. But the desert wasn't finished with Jonathan Wilson. Wilson faced the return journey completely without water, on a day promising to be even hotter. His horse struggled on steep grades and soft ground. Wilson's condition deteriorated rapidly in the escalating heat. Somewhere during that hellish journey, he lost consciousness entirely. When he came to his senses, he was lying in the cool water of the Providence mountain spring, his horse standing nearby. The intelligent animal had somehow navigated back to water while Wilson lay unconscious. The ordeal left Wilson physically and mentally shattered. Despite being intimately familiar with every trail in the region, he found himself unable to retrace his route to the Rocky Mound. His brain was, in his words, not fully restored. After several failed attempts, Wilson traveled to San Bernardino with his samples. The assay results validated Wilson's claims spectacularly. The ore tested at $15,000 per ton, more than $7 per pound in 1880 currency, representing millions in today's purchasing power. Wilson attracted serious investors. Hank Brown was a respected stage driver and miner. O.D. Gass was a 49er and former Arizona Territorial Senate president. Joseph Jansen and F.M. Slaughter completed the group, all experienced professionals who were nobody's fools when it came to mining ventures. The partnership mounted a systematic expedition to relocate Wilson's mound. They covered the entire suspected region between the Providence and Old Woman Mountains, searching for the windbreak, claim monument, distinctive ledge, and rich horn-silver deposits. They found nothing. Despite Wilson's detailed descriptions and the team's professional experience, they couldn't locate a single identifying feature. The failure was so complete that Wilson eventually abandoned the search and returned to gold prospecting. But Hank Brown remained convinced the deposit existed and continued searching for years. 5 years later, Brown's persistence seemed to pay off. He questioned desert Indians about windbreaks or monuments in the area. Eventually, a Mojave Indian claimed to know the exact location for $40. According to Brown, the guide led him directly to Wilson's landmarks. Brown claimed to have found the ledge and returned with ore assaying at $16,000 per ton. The location was 30 or 40 miles northeast of 29 Palms. News spread quickly. O.D. Gass followed Brown back, and Colonel Brooks investigated for the Pomona Progress newspaper. But then Hank Brown disappeared. For weeks, Brown remained unreachable. When he finally emerged, Brown made a stunning admission. He couldn't return to the ledge location. The Indian guide had departed for Nevada to gather pine nuts. O.D. Gass pursued the guide but never found him. Wilson himself provided devastating professional assessment. As the region's leading expert on desert geography and water sources, Wilson declared that Brown couldn't possibly have reached the ledge from the described direction due to impassable sandy terrain and absent water sources. The San Bernardino Index declared the lost Wilson mine still lost, and some suggested the rediscovery was base fabrication. No important developments emerged after 1885, and declining silver values reduced search incentives. Yet the mystery persists. Expert Jack Mitchell, who developed Mitchell's Caverns and operated silver claims in the Providence Mountains, concluded that the story ties together very well, and there was no reason Wilson could not have found such a ledge. Some theorize Wilson inadvertently obtained samples from the nearby Bonanza King mine, which produced chloride of silver ore worth $100 per ton during the same period. The King mine's documented production of nearly $1 million in 18 months proves extremely rich. Silver deposits existed regionally. Today, Despite modern technology, the lost Wilson mine remains elusive. Contemporary searchers have covered jeep trails throughout the target area, but the fundamental challenge remains. The desert contains too many springs and too many trails and too many mounds. A comprehensive search would require months on horseback from every known Providence mountain spring, a daunting prospect explaining why the mine remains lost after 140 years. Yet the lost Wilson mine continues captivating treasure hunters and desert explorers. It represents the perfect lost mine mystery, well documented, geologically plausible, witnessed by credible people, and described in enough detail that finding it seems possible. Join my Patreon community and discover my art print products on my website in the links provided in my description and link above. Also, if you would like a particular image from my videos, give the timestamp for image, and I will upload it to my website and Patreon. Thank you for joining your desert frontiersman Alan for another Southwest Gold story. Check out my large catalog of Southwest videos and playlists on historical tales, legends, lost gold stories, and adult bedtime stories. If you like a certain image from my videos, tell me in comments and give timestamp. Happy trails! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.